Hello, my friends. This is Betty McKnit here, your crochet mama. And tonight I am working on my 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. This is my 25th live video for this blanket. And it's been a lot. It has been a lot. So I'm coming down to the end, and hopefully I will be finishing this. I would really love to finish this before the end of the month. What do I have? 3 more days? I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know if I can do it, but I am gonna try. Tomorrow I have to go up the road and get my nails done, so tomorrow is not going to be able to be a marathon day, which would be great. I would feel a lot more confident about getting done if I could have another marathon day tomorrow. I did a marathon day on um, Sunday. Hi, Ricola's Crochet Corner, and I love your photo. Uh, yeah, I have to go get my nails done tomorrow, and I'm hoping that this one, my pointer finger on my left hand, which is the one I tension with, is hanging on by a thread, and I don't like to peel them off because my nails underneath are like just really, they shred very easily. And so we'll see if that gets in the way of me crocheting tonight. But I have decided to go up the road tomorrow and go get my nails done. So that's a big project because I have to go pretty far. Um, and I kind of force myself to go far so that I can get, I call it going back to the land of the living. Like it just, I live in a tourist area where there's not a lot of people around. So it's just nice for me to get out of here every once in a while and just be in the regular world. So, because I live in kind of a, you know, a fantasy. I'm living the dream, is what it is. I'm living the dream. I live at the beach and it's great. Um, okay, so let me just put this up here and then we will go ahead. I'll go ahead and get started. Crocheting, crochet. Oh, yes, I can zoom in again. Hallelujah. I had to remove TikTok from my device and reinstall it, and that wasn't fun. That was not fun. Not happy about that, having to do that. And there are videos, live videos, I have not been able to download, and that has not been great either. Don't like that. And then let me flip this. Okay, so the yarn that I am using is Lion Brand Respun. I've got 6 different colorways, and I'm working off of the bonus bundles. And they are very generous in terms of yardage. So far this blanket, I have not, uh, I've only used like one skein of each color so far. So, it's just been one skein of each. So it feels like, yeah, it feels like a little goes a long way. That's what it feels like. So I'm doing the 6-day Ridgy Didge. I am using Lion Brand Respun in the bonus bundle, and it's getting really hard to hold because it's so big. And I am using scented stitches. Where am I trying to show this? Scented Stitches Stitch Balm, and the scent that I'm using is Cheer, and it smells very rosy. Well, this is an aromatherapy balm that goes on your fingers where you tension the yarn, and it makes the yarn smell nice. I'll just put that there. And then, oh, this doesn't seem exactly right. What have I done? There we go. That's better. I have an affiliate link in my bio for Scented Stitches. It's called Scented Stitches is the name of the company. Oops, I'm on a single crochet row. You're welcome. So let me see. After this row that I'm working on here, I have I just put this on a little while ago. Well, yeah, I don't want to take it off because it hurts. um I have I use these stickers. They're called Phyton stickers. Phiten. Um they do something. It's not in the right place. Where I really need it is here. I don't know if it'll stay there. But we used to use them. I was a dance major, so we used to use them for pain when I was in graduate school. And I'm not in any pain right now, but I did do that. I crocheted for like 6 hours on live the other day, and that was a lot. So I was feeling it in my wrist and hand afterwards, and I did a lot of self care yesterday. Did I crochet yesterday on live? I don't think I crocheted that much yesterday. I think I stayed off of live and I did other things. Oh, I worked on the computer a lot, and that was when I really started feeling like cramping in my hand and stuff. It was just like on my laptop all day. And that did not feel good on my hand. Just getting stuff done, typing, writing, you name it. Getting my stuff done. Getting my work done, people. How has everyone been this Tuesday? How's everyone's weather? I had my windows open today. It was really beautiful today. Really nice and warm. Got up to 68 degrees here. It was just so nice. Missy Reichert says, really windy, then a little snow flurry. Yeah, I was on a Zoom call with people in all different parts of the country, and they were like, it's snowing. And I was like, I'm in a tank top. uh, that was fun. Oh, my eggs are done. I put a bunch of eggs in the rice cooker right before I came on here for hard boiling. Um, and because I'm planning after I get off of here to make some ramen with some chicken and noodles, and what else am I going to put that hard boiled egg in there? That was the whole thing. I was like, I'm going to have some of the chicken and the egg. Which came first? Who cares? It's been warm and rainy. Okay. It was really sunny yesterday. It was sunny and warm. And then I went to the beach really early in the morning. I was up earlier than I usually am. And I just put my big jacket on. I have one of those great big oversized hoodie things. And and I just went down there like practically right out of bed and saw the sun just as it was coming up. And then I went down in the middle of the day and I walked down there again because it was just so nice. And then I went down at night right as the moon was coming up because I wanted to see the moon come up. I might do that again tonight too. Just really pretty. And the moon is, full or almost full. It was full 2 nights ago. It's really pretty to see it come up over the water. Has to be clear though. So it was pretty nice and clear today, so I might go down later and see if I can see the moon come up. I think tonight it's probably going to be coming up around 9 o'clock. Did you know, and I never knew this before I moved down here, that the full moon rises at sunset? And then it rises like 50 minutes later every day after that. I'm making the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. I'm almost done. Did I pass that marker? I went to the trouble to move it. Hey Amanda, how you doing? If I wasn't working and just lost my favorite hook, I would love to join you. Aw, you lost your favorite hook? That is a bummer. Rickola's Crochet Corner says, I worked all day, now relaxing, and be in bed in an hour to do it all again tomorrow. Oh, goodness. Thanks for following. Please make sure to like and share the live. Although I know you all are crocheting and you don't want to be tapping the screen. Thank you very much. The colors are not showing up really accurately on TikTok, but it's a little better tonight, maybe because I zoomed in. So this looks more blue. Right? Didn't that look green the other day? Yeah, so maybe because I'm zoomed in, they look more accurate. That's okay. It's the Scented Stitches Aromatherapy Balm in the color Cheer. Color, the scent Cheer. They have 4 scents. I just started working on my 6-day star blanket a few days ago and I'm loving it so far. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you. The 6-day star blanket is fun. People keep asking me to square it off, and I really don't want to. Is there a way to square it off? I'm just like, oh God, no. Why would you want to do that? It's so pretty as a star. I hear the wind picking up outside. I'm probably gonna have to close my windows. I still have my windows open. Open my bathroom window, and I was taking a bath today, and I was listening to what is her name? Risa Tisa? I was watching Risa Tisa tell her story. Actually sounds like it might be raining. If it starts raining, I have to go close my windows. Hi. Oh, that's my stomach growling. Did y'all hear that? Oh, forget it. I'll just go in from the front. Something is snagging. Okay, I gotta get up and close my windows. I definitely hear some rain coming in, so I'll do 3 minutes. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Won't even probably take me that long. All right, let me fix my chair again. This blanket is really long. Alrighty then. So when a blanket gets this long, I don't have to flip the entire thing. I just flip the top of it. But it's still awkward to sit here and work on this. I have 2 stripes after this. I wish I could just hang out on here and do it until it's done, but I know my body cannot handle that. Hi, thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate that. What's everybody working on crocheting tonight? What did everybody have for dinner? I'm hungry. 6-day star and planning on spaghetti for dinner. Oh, spaghetti sounds good. Hi, Nancy. Hope you had a good day as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, I had sunshine today too and warm temps. It was really great. I'm really wanting to get this project done and move on to other things. Computer, what's my notification? Yeah, she's telling me it's gonna rain. Working on a hexy cardigan and having leftover pizza for dinner. Pizza. I've had pizza in a long time. Do you ever put a project on hold and start something new? Yes, all the time. I have a lot of things going all the time, and they're like at different levels of. They're at different levels. Like, I have. I get ideas and then I start designing something, and that's like one level. And then I, get to the point where I'm like finalizing an idea, a design, and writing it down, writing it up, and then once I do that, I give it to the people in my membership and I let them play with it and I let them work on it and give me feedback and stuff like that. And I have stuff in there that's been in there for a couple of years. Sometimes I don't want to go forward and publish it, and then I have other things that I work them up, and it's just designing. There's a lot of different stages. Like, I could have had this pattern here published a long time ago, but I have to have a sample of it to photograph for the pattern. So I need that for the actual pattern, right? Um, so yeah, I set stuff aside all the time, and then I have projects from time to time. I do want to make a personal project, like just for myself. I'm trying to do that more and more. Like, I want to crochet this thing because I want it. Nora says, what kind of crochet hook you use? It looks good. It's the Furls Odyssey. It's an ergonomic hook and it's the best, and they don't make them anymore, unfortunately. But somebody did say that their metal hooks are comparable, but I haven't tried them yet. I'm pretty loyal to this one. Sometimes when I'm working on something, an idea, um, and it doesn't always work out the first time, and then I'll set it down and let it hibernate. So I have a lot of hibernating things. I have a lot of hibernating ideas. I have a lot of things that I crocheted up where I was just like, this was an idea, and it didn't quite work, or it didn't. Sometimes I'm excited about stuff, but then the people in my membership community aren't excited about it. And I think if they're not excited about it, nobody's going to be excited about it, because they're like my super fans. Where can I buy this crochet? You mean crochet hook? They don't make them anymore. It's a Furls hook. Furls. Furls. They're discontinued. They don't sell them anymore. So you have to go in the resell Facebook group where they buy to sell trade Furls crochet hook or something like that. Or check on eBay or check on um what's that other one that's like Mercury? What am I trying to say? Poshmark? Is that it? No, Poshmark is not where you resell stuff, is it? I think it's Mercari. What am I trying to say? Somebody help me. Hi, thanks for following. Nobody knows this word that I'm trying to think of. It's like a website kind of like eBay that starts with an M, where you can buy stuff. You can sell your old clothes on there and your old stuff. You can list stuff. And somebody I know found a Furls hook on there for like $9, and then I downloaded the app and I got on there, and they sent me so many emails and notifications. And it was like you show interest in something, and then they come back the next day and they're like, the seller lowered the price. The seller is offering it to you, is making an offer for, less. It's like then you're supposed to bargain for this thing. And I ended up buying stuff like dishes, dumb stuff. Thank you. You all know that you just have to click the copy link, right? You don't actually have to share it. Like sometimes I get these random videos that people have shared to me, and I'm like, just click the copy link. It's all you have to do. Thank you, Nessa Knitting. I do it for people when I'm doom scrolling, but when you're crocheting, you don't want to be tapping the screen or knitting. Nessa Knitting, do you also crochet? Thanks. I have been better about finishing up projects lately. Nancy was asking if I um, ever set a project aside. Yes, I crochet more than I knit. I knit on a knitting machine. Oh, that's cool. I could not get the hang of the knitting machine. Yeah, my name's Betty McKnit, but I crochet more. I mean, I used to knit more. I started out that I only crocheted, and then I learned how to knit when I was a little girl, right at the same time I learned how to crochet, but the knitting didn't stick. And then later in life, I learned how to knit, and I was a knit and fool for a long time. For a long time, that was all I did was knit. And the only time I really crocheted was when I wanted to do something up quick, like a blanket or something. I wanted a quick, you know, I wanted to get something done fast. Then I would crochet it. And every once in a while, I just felt like I wanted to crochet. And people would say, crochet is coming back. And I was like, whatever. No, it's not. Um, and then it did. And now, when I was at H&H last year, they said crochet is actually bigger than knitting. That's what they said. They said that. But I was still kind of knitting all the time when my pattern went viral. 6 Day Kid Blanket went viral. Went viral like 3 times, but 2 times I wasn't paying attention. I didn't really even know that it happened. And then the last time it went viral, I noticed somebody tagged me in something. And that's when I started crocheting all the time again. And I have been feeling the itch to knit more lately because I miss it. Do you have a free pattern for this beautiful blanket? I have a free pattern, loads of free patterns on my site. The 6 Day Kid blanket is a free pattern on my site, and this pattern is based on that pattern. The 6 Day Kid blanket. This is the 6 Day Ridgy Didge blanket, and it's the same stitches, but it has a textured row. Has one little alteration, and the 6 Day Kid blanket has lots of different versions, and it will look different depending on where you change colors. And so this one has a color change between rows 5 and 6, and on row 6 we replace the double crochet with front post double crochet. This will be a pattern that I will release, but I have to complete this. Is me making the sample. I have to complete the sample and photograph it and finish writing up the pattern and do all that good stuff, and then I'll release it. I'm hoping to finish my 6 Day Ridgy Didge blanket this weekend. I want to finish this before March 1st, which is, what day is March 1st? Friday? Friday is March 1st, and I sincerely hope I'm no longer working on this blanket. I don't think I'm going to make it, to be honest. because I have 2 stripes to do after this, plus the square off rows, and then the edge. That's going to take a long time. And doing it all on live it's way too limiting. This could have been done and released so long ago. So I don't know that I'm going to be engaging in this practice anymore because, ugh, it's too much. Thank you so much, Missy. Appreciate it. That's my sister's name. Yeah, she's Melissa too, and we've called her Missy her whole life, and but professionally she goes by Melissa. So sometimes it's funny to hear her call herself that or hear her be called that, and we're all used to calling her Missy. But I totally get it, because Missy sounds very young. When I was little, they called me Bethy. I did not like it. And people would say, like, oh, because my name is not Elizabeth, it's Beth Ann. And people would say, oh, should we call you, what should we call you? Do you go by Beth or Elizabeth or Liz? And I'd be like, my name's not Elizabeth, it's Beth, and I really don't care as long as you don't call me Bethy. Just don't call me Bethy. I hate that. And then, of course, there would be the person that would be like, okay, Bethy. Does everybody have people in their life that they're like, if you tell them what will bother you, what bothers you and what you don't like, they'll make sure that they call you that, or they do that thing, or they I think Melissa is so pretty. I just we always called my sister Missy, so I just thought that everybody who had the first name Melissa went by Missy. I just thought that. Oh, ugh, I get that with Mandy too. Yeah, I could see that. We knew these twins. We had these twins that we did dance with, and their names were Melinda and Amanda, and they went by Mindy and Mandy. I always thought it was weird that people with the name Elizabeth would go by Beth. Be like, how are you calling yourself Beth? I've never been a Mandy. There's one girl at work who insists on calling me Mandy. Well, that's a very Australian thing, though, isn't it? To kind of like shorten people's names and make everything like a nickname or cute. I mean, PETA told me that one time when we were on a call. She was like, my name's PETA, but they'll still call me Pete. And then one time she said her name was pronounced just like Peter. And I was like, your name is PETA. Peter is Peter. She was like, it's pronounced exactly like Peter. And I'm like, Peter? No way. But still, if you've told her you prefer, like, if I told someone not to call me Bethy and they kept doing it, I would blow my lid. I would just feel so disrespected because I'm very clear, like, that is just like the one thing you cannot call me. Even when people, like, in real life call me Betty instead of Beth, I'm just like, I don't even care. They'll say, is it Betty or Beth? And I'm like, I'll answer to either one. Although I did have someone in my real life say a couple of times, like, we would just be talking about whatever, you know, and nothing related to like crochet or my business or whatever. And she'd go, okay, Betty, and then that felt weird. That felt like she was making fun of me. Hi, Lexi. Yes, it is. It's this. It's a variation of the 6-day kid blanket. It's free on my website, bettymcknit.com. This one's called the Ridgy Didge. You guys hear my stomach growl that time? I'm glad you don't have to deal with her too often either, because dang. Disneyland Grammy. Hey, Linda, 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 how you doing? Where you been, girl? I'm doing Scented Stitches Stitch Balm. It's an aromatherapy balm. I got a link in my bio for it. So there is a poll on TikTok, and it does look like somebody started it. So you can click on the poll and it'll tell you some of the details of what I'm doing. But this is Lion brand uh, Respun in 6 different colors. And the one that I'm working with right now is called Sahara. Tea in the Sahara with you. Sahara, Heliotrope, Cranberry, Fjord, Dark Denim, and Amber. So go ahead and click the poll and get all them deets. Hey, Brooke. How are you? Wonderful. That sounds great. Roxy Surfer 101 says, I'm working on the Supernova Ridgy Didge, and I've gotten so many compliments. Love your work. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you're enjoying it. Yes, I get loads of compliments on my star blanket, one of my favorites. Oh, thank you. They look amazing. It's so much fun. I work on it when my 2-year-old goes to sleep. Yeah, I don't think that the Supernova is as much fun because you have to think. And I mean, I guess once you get the hang of it, you don't have to look at the numbers and the stitch counts all the time. If or like, if you know the star blanket well and you feel really confident, and you understand what's supposed to happen, you don't have to look at the stitch counts all the time. Hi, thanks for following. Whoops. Hello. Oh, you're leaving your yoga class? Good for you. Don't you feel so good? Bikram yoga is a commitment because you can't just walk out of there and go to work. You have to go home and take a shower. Or take a shower at the studio and, you know, all new clothes and you name it. I just thought of something I need to write down. I already forgot what it was. Damn it. Oh well. That's okay. I'm gonna come close to running out of yarn. Yep, because I put yellow in the swatch. I'm going to do my yoga class in the morning before I go get my nails did. I have plenty of time to get a class in, and then I have an appointment for an online meeting, and if they cancel, I'm going to be really mad. On Friday, I had, oh no, that was yesterday. On Monday, which was yesterday. On the yesterday, I had an appointment scheduled with, like, you get these emails from like Amazon, because I'm trying to put my merch on Amazon, and so I, did a whole trademark thing and opened a store on Amazon, and they call you and they're like, "You've been selected for free help." Okay, great. I would love free help. I need free help. Please help me for free. And so they're like, "Here's my scheduling link. Pick a time." So I pick a time, and I have the time on my calendar, and I am sitting there waiting for my time. I can't schedule anything else during that time. I can't go to the post office. I can't leave the house or come back. Like all the things. You have to be ready when it's time to start the call and sitting there ready to go. You take time out of your life, to be ready for an appointment. And it's at 3:15. And at 3:15, I go to log into the call, and there's an email, and it says 3:15, that it's been sent to me at 3:15, or I've received it at 3:15. The meeting's canceled. It's like, how about a little notice, people? Come on. You don't cancel the meeting right at the time it's supposed to start. Give a little notice. Even 20 minutes, so I can go make a sandwich or something. Come on. A lot of the time when I go to Virginia Beach or up the road to get my nails done, I fart around a lot when I'm there, but I don't think I'm going to fart around too much tomorrow. I think I'm going to just go up there and come back. Go up there, get it done, and come back. I hate it when people don't respect it is really inconsiderate. Right up to the minute, Right up to the minute. And then I had somebody else, I was on a meeting with them, and they said, "Let's schedule a time. Let's schedule the next one." So I'm like, "Okay, next week at this time, if you have that." And they're like, "Okay, I have that on my calendar." And like, I received the calendar invite. And then a couple hours later, they say, "I'm sorry. I already had something on my calendar. I apologize. I'm going to put you in for this time, the same time the day before, instead." Like, oh no, my friend. You do not have access to my life like that. Are you kidding me? You're just going to pick another day and time and put me in and expect me to be there? Like, no. That's a good one. Guess what? Guess what I said to that? A whole lot of nothing with a cherry on top. I didn't even respond to that email. I did not even respond. Like, no, I'm sorry. Nuh-uh. Hello, goodbye. I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, it's freaking hilarious. You send the link. You don't put another time in. Oh, I'll just put you in for 10:30 at the same time then. Like, okay. I will find anything to do not to be available at that time. If I even was. If I even actually was available. It's some random time you just picked out for me. Do you really think your meeting is a high priority? Come on. These whippersnappers. These young whippersnappers, what are they doing? What are they doing? Someone needs to teach these kids some manners. If I do one more row, I will have done an entire stripe. Woohoo! It's a 6-row repeat, so I've done 5 rows. And normally I get in more than one full stripe on a call, but I don't usually get 2 full stripes in. The other day I did like 2 lives, both around the same length of time as normal, and one of them was even a little bit longer, and I did like 3 stripes in that time. on that day. So I think, yeah, this was the day I went live twice. I went from here to here. Whoa, what is that magical stick? This is, thank you, Mommy's Life. Um, this is called Scented Stitches Stitch Balm. They have 4 different kinds: cheer, calm, confidence, and power. And I'm doing cheer for this one. There's a link in my link tree where you can buy some, but it's an aromatherapy balm. You put it on your finger where you tension the yarn, and it makes the project smell nice, and it makes everything smell nice while you're working. And it helps you to, I what I like the most about it, and honestly I don't really know if my project smells nice. I haven't like taken the time to like smell it, try and smell it separately, I guess, than when I'm working on it. And people ask me, well, what's it like when you wash it? And I don't know the answer because I haven't washed it yet. Um, People have been saying a lot that, or people see me put it on my finger and they think that that is the purpose for it, but I don't believe that is the actual purpose. Although I've had people in my membership community who have been using it who have said that it helps with that. Um, but I don't believe it has any healing, you know, properties other than being like, made from a balm. Let's see what's in it. Organic ingredients: sunflower oil, jojoba oil, can candelilla wax, essential oils, lavandula, lavender, bergamot, sweet orange, patchouli. Yeah, so sunflower oil, jojoba oil, those things are all good for your skin. I was like, what? Patchouli? That's not in this one. This one has rose geranium, lemongrass, and rose absolute, and it smells very floral. The cheer smells very floral. Shop through the link in my bio. It's called Scented Stitches Aromatherapy Stitch Balm. I don't sell it directly. It comes from another company. I met them at H&H, and the owner is just an absolutely lovely person. You get lots of little extras in the sample pack. Lots of little extras. Just a lovely, lovely small business. I love them. I saw the product at H&H last year, and I just thought, wow, that is really different, and that's really aligned with my somatic work that I do with people. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Andrew. That's how I wanted to say it. I don't know why. I think I'm a little loopy. I need dinner. Hello, Andrew. How you doing, Andrew? What you working on? Hi, Hessa. Thank you so much. You are too kind. Appreciate you. No projects on your hook. Did you lose your Crojo? Oh, thank you, Hessa. You're too kind. I finished my four turtles, my holiday skirt. I need a break. Nice. Okay, Andrew, did you see in the McKnitiverse where I asked what people wanted to work on as a crochet along? I don't think you saw it because I don't think you voted, but I ran a poll. You forgot to vote. What are you going to vote for? Fran Banan says, I just got the scent sample. How do you like it? They're nice, right? Which one's your favorite? I like Power the best. I think the shrug is a good idea too, to be honest. I think the shrugs need to be redone and there need to be um videos for them and they need reworked in my opinion. I spent a long time working on those when I did them and there was not that much interest in them at the time because this I feel like when the star blanket went viral, I had a lot more younger people interested in what I was doing. So I had Courtney, who she came into the community when I was doing the star blanket, and she was like my connection to like the younger crowd. And so she was the one saying, "Oh, this is cool. You should put a hood on it." And I thought, what the heck? Who would want that? Like, who would want a hood on the shrug, you know? And then once, when the star blanket went viral, I think a lot of younger people who like those kinds of garments started, they noticed that I had stuff like that and then they became interested in it. So, um, those patterns have had a lot more traction lately. And I just think I need to revisit them and clean them up because they're not that great. I mean, they're great, but they're not, they could be better. And people ask me questions from time to time. Um, I have a question for you, but it might be a question to be asked privately. It's about your tree skirt. Okay, you seem like you're doing good on the tree skirt. What's happening? You seem like you're pretty far along with it. You can ask me here, and if it's, um, if I don't want to answer it, I'll just kick you out. No, I won't do that. I'll answer you in the McKnitiverse later. Oh, it's no issue. I'm done with it. Okay. That's what I thought you said you were done. So here's the thing about what something happened when I was working on the 6 day Ridgy Didge Supernova on the lives recently. And while I was on the lives trying to work my own pattern, I was like, I hate the way I wrote this. I can write this a different way. And so I rewrote the part that confuses people where I say, do this many, do this until you get to the top of the mountain, and then do that until you get 5 stitches from the bottom of the valley. And I took all that language out of there, and I said it differently. I did skip 2, 3, double crochet in the next 6 times or whatever. And then I realized that that was a much better way to do that, and that it would alleviate a lot of confusion on this regular star blanket. If I change, I thought all the star things need to be changed to be written like this now, because um it's it's not um if this is better, it's better. Is it possible to work it to be an actual wearable? Yes. um but I think that the star shawl, which is very similar to that pattern, is a better place to start. And I think the 6 day poncho would actually be like a combination of the 6 day poncho and the 6 day tree skirt, because let me the 6 day tree skirt, it starts straight, okay, and it starts at like the third, um second or third row of the star, so it has that little opening um for the tree, Christmas tree, to go down into, right? Or to wrap around. Okay. The 6 day star shawl doesn't have that. It's flat. And it only has, so the tree skirt goes all the way around like that, right? 360 degrees. And the shawl is just like has a pie piece cut out. It has 2 points cut out of it, 2 sections. The tree skirt crosses over, so it has an extra one. Okay, so those are the some of the differences. And then the poncho, where the tree skirt has this big of a hole, the poncho has a neck size hole, but it's worked in the round. So I think if you want to do a wearable, you would start with the poncho, and if you don't want it to go around, you would work it back and forth the same way you did the tree skirt. So it would be a combination, I would think, of the poncho and the tree skirt. I would start with that. Yeah, I think when I release that poncho, people are going to start doing all kinds of stuff like that with it, which is fine. As long as they don't try and make a new pattern without my permission or make videos. Ugh. It's like people taking pieces of me. Cool. Cool, cool. Give it a shot. What is my next color? Is the dark denim. And then after the dark denim will be only one stripe left. I think my next blanket will be the granny chevron, but I have a question on row 3. Okay? It should be the same as the 6-day kid blanket row 3. And then you just repeat it. The best place to ask the question too would be to put it, in the comment right in the lesson. When you say repeat row 3 for as long as we want, do you mean make 5 extra rows or 150? Well, that's for that particular blanket, that is the rest of the blanket, is row 3. You keep going until you have the blanket, the length you want it. But if you want to make the 6-day blanket, you can actually repeat row 3 in the 6-day blanket as many times as you want, and then return to row 4, 5, 6 in the 6-day blanket. But yeah, that's what that blanket is. Just the rest of the blanket is row 3. You don't ever have to think about anything else, any other row. That's it. You're good. Yep. I can see the end of this skein of yarn. I can see the end, and I only have this much to go, and I'm like actually scared. Am I going to have enough yarn to finish the last 10 stitches of this row? I think I have enough. I know, it's yarn chicken. Let me crochet faster so I don't run out of yarn. Oh yeah, there's actually a lot more lurking in there. Oh, what am I doing? It's Dark Denim's turn. Let's go, Dark Denim, you're up. Ridgy row. Ridgy Didge. 1, 2, 3. And I'm sorry, but this is my least favorite row. Just finished the second repeat for my 6-day star. Woohoo! Yeah! Isn't it just so satisfying how it gets big so fast? And how many days have you been working on it? I think somebody said the other day they did the setup rows one day, and then they did like one repeat a day after that and finished it in 6 days. The setups don't take long at all once you know the pattern. I can do the setup rows in like an hour. It's so fun. I already can't wait to do another. Yeah, they are really fun and addictive to work on. I love doing them. My favorite to do is actually the superstar because the points don't get really super big like that. So you don't get to that. Well, if this is your first 6-day star, you haven't gotten to this point yet, so you won't know what I'm talking about, but until you get there. But when you get to the, when that blanket gets really big, and then you have a million double crochet going up to the point and then a million coming down. And to me, that gets a little bit boring. Um, but the superstar, the points don't get that big. So you never get to that point where it's like, I have like 58 double crochet to get to the peak. Yeah, it's very similar. It has more points. It starts out the same. And then you bring in like a second row of points, and it's almost circular. It's more circular than star shaped, I would say. Thank you. I'm just so excited that this is my second to last stripe. It does make me feel like I could just stay on here until I'm done. But I can't. I won't. Go ahead, Andrew. I'm all ears. Maybe I can finish the next stripe on the next call. Maybe I can get this one far enough along that I could get the next, on the next live, I could finish the last stripe. I'm going to keep going until my battery dies on my phone. It's not blinking yet, so come on, Betty, crochet faster. Come on, Betty, you're almost there. You know it's going to take me a ding dong long time to do the edge and the border. I should stay home tomorrow and not get my nails done and just come on here and work on this, but I'm not going to do that. I need to step away from work and leave the house from time to time. Andrew, I just love how you're going crazy with 6-day patterns. You caught the 6-day bug. It's an addiction. Is it an addiction? Yes, it is. Oh, hey. Yeah, I should have texted you. Andrew, Amy's on YouTube. Andrew's over on TikTok. Oh, now Amy's on TikTok. Sister Amy, yep. Dr. Amy. She usually tags you when if you're not here, Andrew. Yeah, now she's posting all her little subscription stickers. What the? What the heck did I do? Would you look at that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh. 4, 5, 6. Well, it's just gonna have to be wrong. Just don't look at it. I'm just gonna put my finger over it. Nobody see that. Just don't look at that where I did the 3 on the side of the peak instead of the peak. Just pretend you didn't see that, people. You can't tell. You can't tell. Oh, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb because it's Ridgy Didge. I'm gonna keep going. I can't. I cannot. It doesn't look that different. For the squares for the chaos blanket, I have squares. I don't know what to do with. Can I use for that? Yeah, you can if you want to, but the numbers are going to be different. So, what you're going to want to do is just make sure when you put your squares together, and I explain this in the pattern. I don't know if you've read the whole thing, but when you put your squares together and then you sew them together and then you edge them, okay? And you might have to do a little bit of experimenting because the way that I sew mine together, I do a little decrease over the corners. And you might not need to do that, just depending on what your squares are like. Um, okay, Fran Benan says someone's doing a community blanket. You could use them for that if you wanted to. But if you want to use them for the chaos, what you would want to do when you do your edge is you want to make sure that your count along the long side of your edge of squares is going to need to be 13 plus 4, a multiple of 13 plus 4. So as you're going across, you have to decrease evenly, and I would not increase, I would decrease, unless you're only increasing, unless you only need to go up like 2 or 3, then you're okay to increase, but if you otherwise I would decrease evenly across. So you have your 5 granny squares, right? Whatever kind of granny squares they are. And then as you single crochet across, you have to count to see how many single crochet you'll have. And let's say a multiple of 13 plus 4 is, this is wrong, but let's just say it's 100, and you have 108. You have to 8 times going across, evenly spaced across, decrease, do a single crochet decrease, so your final count is 100, okay, or a multiple of 13 plus 4. And then you can, just continue with the blanket as written. Does that make sense? If you need more help with it, once you get all your squares sewn together and you know figure out how many stitches you got, and I'll help you figure out how many stitches you need, and we'll get you going. But I never, that's an interesting question. I never thought about using a different square. Probably because all I ever do is 6-day stuff because I'm a one hit wonder. So I'm the one hit wonder of the crochet world. People are probably like, is she ever going to get tired of doing 6-day stuff? I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like I could, you know, maybe I'll try something different someday. I don't know. I like doing the 6-day blanket. It's um, like just doing a granny square or something. I don't know. Like, I don't have to, it's very mindless to me now. I don't have to think about it. So that makes it easy. I never noticed this, but I do get a little indentation when I tension this way. Remember, I don't know what the girl who, or the crocheter creator who was on here yesterday was saying, and I was telling them, oh, you should not get burned. You shouldn't get yarn burn, and you're doing it too tight. And I, and then I was like, you have to you can fix your tensioning, if you're tensioning too tight. And they were saying, oh, I can't do it over my pinky finger. And I was like, yeah, you can, just, and I started, I mean, if I force myself to, I can tension over my pinky finger and it doesn't bother, I get used to it pretty quickly. But it's like a habit, it's, if I um allow myself to just be lazy, then I won't wrap my yarn around my pinky finger. I'll do it the other way. So when I was on the live the other day, yes, whatever day it was, I was like telling this person, like, you can do it if you want to. It might feel awkward at first. And then I was like, all right, put your money where your mouth is, like, if you're going to tell other people to do that, then you should do it too. So I started, I was like, let me just tension over my pinky. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I'm telling other people to do. Let's walk the walk over here. So I've been good. I've been good. I've been pinky fingering it. And now I notice I have this dent. I don't remember ever having it before. Well, I mean, we were talking about people having really tight tension. And I'm not saying everybody should, but this person that was on the live that I was talking to had very tight tension. And so I was saying, you need to you need to loosen up. And we were talking about having that a lot of people tension like this with their hand, and then they end up with pain. They end up with pain and problems. And so they were saying that, oh, like, oh, that's really tight for me. So that's when I was like, you need to loosen up your hand. And that is one way to loosen up your hand. And we were also talking about people wanting to crochet faster. And a lot of the things that will help you crochet faster are also the things that will help you protect your hands. And that would be, loosening up your tension and um, tensioning with your pinky finger so that this hand can be loose and it's not in this, like death grip like this. That is not good for your body. So, Fran Banana, I don't know how I don't know how you crochet, but, I'm trying to protect my body so I can keep doing it. And just because you've never done it doesn't mean you can't change your habits. Like I've been doing this for almost 50 years. And then somebody said, well, if it ain't broke, um, and I was like, yeah, but do you want to wait until you have pain? A lot of the advice that I give about, somatic, the somatic advice that I give is about preventative. It's about prevention. Um, and the thing is, we often, when we're crocheting, we aren't feeling our bodies. We're sitting here crocheting for hours and hours with our hands all clamped up, with all this tension, and we don't realize until we stop and we're like, I've been crocheting for hours and my hand is like a claw. Like we shouldn't be crocheting our hands into a claw. So part of it is just noticing more and noticing before, your pain is your body yelling at you that something is wrong. So somatics is about noticing what's happening in your body before you hurt it, before you get to that pain state, and before your body is like, hey, hello. Most of us are conditioned to ignore our bodies. And we are, like we brag about having high pain tolerances. So I'm not saying it's a right or wrong thing, but um, it's about what's best for you and keeping your hands healthy. But it's like, yeah, it's like the people that say, I've never swatched. Never swatched and I never will. Well, you're going to have a sweater that doesn't fit someday, or a blanket that's too big, or you're going to struggle with the, you know, learning the stitches or whatever. Or I hate weaving in ends. I'm just going to tie knots. And you're going to have a blanket project that falls apart. Hello, Leah. Aw, aren't you sweet? They said, I've made so many 6-day blankets. Thank you so much for creating this pattern. Oh, thank you for making it. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi and letting me know. That's amazing. I love hearing that, and I love seeing all the blankets that you all make. It's It's very sweet. What is a 6-day blanket? They all of my patterns that carry the title of 6-day or that carry the name 6-day are made with the same 6 rows of stitches. It's single crochet, 2 rows of granny clusters, another single crochet, 2 rows of double crochet, and in a chevron, and another single crochet in a chevron. And the first time I did a blanket with these particular stitches, it just happened to only take me 6 days, and it was a toddler size blanket with a made with chunky weight yarn. And I wasn't trying to be a crochet designer. I was just making a blanket for my sister's first grandson, who's about to turn like 18 or something. Just turned 16 last year, now I remember. I had a TIA episode Thanksgiving, so crocheting a pattern that I already memorized was a huge... Oh my goodness, what is I'm sorry, I don't know that. I don't know that term, but I'm so sorry. I'm glad you found your crochet helpful and comforting. That really warms my heart when I hear stuff like that. People say they took their crochet to the hospital, or, you know, they were working on one of my patterns in the hospital, or I was making it for Christmas, but now I'm just trying to finish it. Are you talking about the blanket you're making for Jeremy right now? I was talking about the original 6-day blanket that I made for him. The one that Amber took and that you just gave back to me. Yeah. Starting to I'm starting to fade away, come and fade away. You were talking about the Ridgy. Oh, thank you. This one's called the Ridgy Didge, and it wasn't even my idea. It was one of my followers. Just like all the different stripes. If it was me, I would still just be doing the original Vivid Chevrons. That's my favorite. But my followers do all these different things. They change colors on different rows. And then people email me and say, why doesn't my blanket look like the pink one? And so I had to write them all down as different patterns for people. So that's how this all came about. And then they said, make it go in a circle, make it go in the round from the center out. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. That's dumb. And then they said, you know, they kept saying it. Make it in the center, make it in the... I have a Facebook group with like 25,000 people in it. And when I first started, it blew up very quickly. Um, and so right away, I went from like 0 to 10,000 people in like a very short period of time. And so it got to be like a daily thing. Like, can you make the is there a version of this that goes around in a circle and is there a star version of this? And so finally I was like, fine, I'll do it. And so I did it. And that's the 6-day star blanket. So I'm not even that original. A lot of this stuff wasn't even my idea. It just happened. But I will say, I was determined that if there was a 6-day kid blanket that was going to go from the center out, it was going to chevron. Because to me, if it didn't chevron, it wasn't the 6-day. And I said that for a long time. No, I'm not going to make a granny square because it won't, it doesn't. A granny square doesn't chevron. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do the granny square and make it chevron. But I did the blanket in the round, going around the center and chevroning, and that was the 6-day star. And then a few years later, I did the granny square anyways, even though I had told people for years I would never do it. I did it, and it was a big hit. I've made some beautiful scarves with lighter yarn. They turned out very nice. Oh, that's nice. Right now, the thing that people keep asking me to do, and it's been asked a lot lately, is to square off the star, the 6-day star. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to. You can't make me. But they keep asking me. And they're doing it on purpose because they know I always say, I'm never doing that. And I get annoyed and I act annoyed. And I'm like, why would you want that? And then I end up doing it. It's scented, it's called Scented Stitches Stitch Balm. It's aromatherapy balm that you put on your finger where you tension the yarn. And I put this marker here to remind myself to re-balm in the middle because I was only doing it at the beginning and the end of the rows, and I was like, my blanket's not gonna smell in the middle, it's only gonna smell on the ends. But it's aromatherapy. It goes into the yarn as the yarn goes over your finger. Andrew, you were not about to ask me how to square the star. I am kicking you out. I am not doing it. I am not squaring the star. First of all, it's got 7 points. That's gonna look so dumb. I'm sorry, I just think it's dumb. I don't mean to be mean, but I just don't understand. Why would you want to square up the beautiful star? Hi, I'm happy to catch you live. I'm adding the edging to my son's 6-day blanket. Someone asked me if I was going to square up my star. Oh my god! That's going to be the thing now. Square it off. I'm not going to do it. I am not doing it. have other things I want to work on that I think will be nicer, like a dress. Like a little dress using the superstar pattern. Imagine the beauty of the star in the middle of a square. No, that's not. How does it work? Because it has 7 points. So where do the points go? I'll tell you what, make a regular 60, a square 6-day blanket or a square 6-day granny square blanket and sew your friggin' star to the granny square. I just personally think it is a weird, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I think y'all are weird. Y'all are so weird. And you know what? Okay, I said the exact same thing about squaring off the top and bottom of the original 6-day kid blanket. Why I sat with my friend and who isn't part of my group anymore, sadly, but because she was a lot of fun. But um, Pat is saying you would turn it into a circle first and then square the circle. That was in my group today. Somebody said that in the group. First you do a circle and then a square. I don't wanna. I don't wanna, Pat. Pat, not you. Too, Pat. Turning on me. I'll be honest. I find that idea way more interesting than just squaring it off. Because I don't know how squaring it would work. That makes more sense. The circle, the star, and then the circle, and then the square. But just squaring it off, I'm just like, huh, what? Hello. You're welcome, my dear. I'm sorry you got hacked. Yeah, but I said the same things about squaring off the top and bottom of the chevron. I was like, why? You have those beautiful points at the top and bottom of the blanket. Why would you want to square it off? But I have come around to the beauty of the square off because I think that it um, provides a necessary way to deal with the the symmetry of the stripes when you change how you do the stripes. And you do, if you want to do the viral stripe, which is rows 2 through 7, and when I see somebody has ended their blanket on row 7, it's just like, you all that are in my Facebook group know how I have an eagle eye, right? Somebody can post a picture of their blanket and I like I just right away I'm like, you did that there. Like I have an eagle eye, right? And when I see a picture of somebody posted their blanket, they ended on row 7, I'm like, my eye just goes zoop right to it. And I'm like, ugh. So you don't have to end on row 7 if you square off. You can do row 2 and 4 and then square off in the color you started with, and then that balances it out. How about putting that star into a hex? And how am I going to put it into a hex? How are you going to put 7 into 6? That's even worse. Andrew, you're just trying to make me mad. I have only squared the 6-day kit blanket twice because I wanted a particular border, but I rather keep the chevron. I have come around to it. I have definitely come around to the squaring off of the blanket, and I think there are times when I think that the squaring, like, I chose to square this one off. And and the reason I did it was because I thought people are going to want to square off this blanket. And so I have to figure out how to do that because the ridge row is between 5 and 6. So that would put the ridge row within the square off on the top and the bottom. So I was like, if I have to figure it out. So that's why I squared this one off. But you can do this one without squaring off. But I thought if I don't square it off, people are going to be trying to square it off and not doing, wanting to know how to do the ridge row in the square off. So it is even a little bit more complicated than the viral stripe to square off the Ridgy Didge and get the colors to line up correctly. But I did it. That is why I'll just say I don't like when people say, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" And I balk at it and I say no. It's mainly because I can't just throw something together. I can't just sit down and square it off and be like, "There you go." I am going to have to do it in a way that I think is right and interesting and looks good and will make sense to people and will make the blanket better. Um, I don't just whip stuff up. Like, I really think about it, and you know, I think I'm rather clever, actually, as a crochet designer. Like, somebody said the other day on YouTube, they were talking about the shrug, and they said, couldn't you maybe, like, they want me to redesign the whole thing for them. Couldn't you maybe, um, do the sleeves separate and sew them on just to make it easier? Like, no! To me, that's like saying, could you put ketchup on my steak? No! That is the that is the beauty of what I did and how much time and work I put into designing this so that it could be in one piece. And there's no sewing it up. That's too easy. That's too easy for me. I would feel like I was ripping people off. The nerve. I know, right? I was like, I responded as politely as I could, but they had sent me an email too. But I'm not gonna talk about it too much more. But yeah, I think my designs are, like, I like them to flow a certain way. I don't know. It's like choreography in a way, you know. I have my style and I want to be true to my style. My crochet style, my crow style. Okay, my battery's blinking. I can tell because I'm feeling loopy and I'm saying weird stuff. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. So wouldn't it be great if the next time I go live, I could finish the stripe? I have one more stripe to go, and then the square off on the top. Oh, for heaven's sake. Yeah, it's not a terrible idea squaring the star, but I have other things that I want to work on that I think you guys will like more. You guys, I think will be more fun and people will enjoy doing more than that chaotic things. I have some chaos projects in mind. I want to do more wearable things. I also have a collab with Jack of Yarns that I'm doing. She had an idea like a year ago, and we worked on it a little bit, and then we just kind of got like um, we set it aside to do other things, and just recently we got it back out again, dusted it off, and we've been working on on a little something something together, and I I'm feeling excited, not just about that particular project, because I think it's going to be really well loved. Um, but I'm having other ideas. I'm getting other ideas from that I really like. So, um, I just have other ideas flowing. I guess that's why I'm not like, all right, let me work on squaring off that star, which is going to take me a year to figure out, and not do any of these other fun things I have in my mind. Somebody else do it, and I'll write it up. And then sometimes when people suggest things, or even when they like make something up, and they'll work it up, and they'll be like, "Here you go. Just publish this." And I'm like, I mean, it's great that you could work, just work that up from, just your mind or whatever. People can, what do they call that? When you can just look at something and like figure it out and work it up, and they're like, "Here you go, you can publish this." Well, you're not giving me I gotta write up all those stitches. Like, there is a lot more that goes into it. You have to make sure somebody else can recreate what you've done. And there are just so many rules and so many steps and so many different things to think about when you write a pattern. It is a lot more than people realize. I could probably take a star and square it off and be like, here you go. It's nice to look at, but having to write it all down and keep track of it and make sure I wrote, make sure I understand what I did and wrote down what I did. And then if it doesn't work, you gotta rip it out and start over. And sometimes when something does, like, I have an idea about something that I'm working on now, and it's been itching at me and bothering me for a really long time. This particular idea and thing that I want to do. And so I have probably 5 or 6 pieces of crochet where I've tried to do this thing, and I've had like I've tried, been like, let's try doing it this way. And so I try doing it and it doesn't work. But if I rip the thing out, I won't know or see what I did. And there are some aspects of the thing that I did that were working, but it just doesn't work. So I have to keep that thing so that I can go back and refer to it. But then I have to go back to this, and I have to start all the way over. I mean, it took me a year to do the 6 day star blanket. And this is why, because I'd have a blanket out to here, and there would be like the supernova in particular. It was out to here and it's not working. So you know, I have to go back, or I have to start a whole new one so that I can compare what was working, the one that was working to the one that wasn't working. So I have a lot of prototypes of stuff too, where I was like trying to do something and it didn't work. And I didn't throw the thing away because I wanted to have a reference of what was working and what wasn't working. And those are usually the things you see me wearing. Those are the ones I keep for myself, those like prototypes that had something wrong with it. And one of them had all the ends sticking out of it, and I was wearing it at home. And my niece, who also, whenever I'm there, she crochets with me, and she sometimes will even come on she'll want to go live, she'll want to be on YouTube with me. And she said to me, I like your scarf. She has this really quiet voice. Sometimes she just pops in on these lives. She said, I like your scarf. And I took it off and I gave it to her. And it was one of my, it was when I was trying to do the Metro North. And I had something I was trying to do and figure out, like a shaping thing. And so I had 3 or 4 of these scarves that they weren't working, and I just like threw them in my set them aside and threw them down. And then one day I was just like cleaning out my my bucket of stuff. I used to call it my bucket. I had this bucket. I would just throw it in the bucket. And it was like a bin. I don't know why I called it a bucket. But one day I was like, let me clean out the bucket. And I went through the bucket and I had several like reject pieces that were like design fails, and I just finished them off. I just finished them up. I was like, this is a design fail, but it's a usable scarf. Like I could wear this as a scarf. It's fine. And the project that I created the pattern was called Metro North, the Metro North traveling scarf. And so I was calling these, Metro North prototypes. I called one of them like Metro Knot, and Metro Wrong. I had names for them. One of them was Metro Knot, and I can't remember the other name. But that's what I was wearing that one day, one of the Metro Knots. And my niece was like, I really like your scarf. And I took it off and I gave it to her. She was so cute. This is really big scarf. Amanda says, my Metro North scarf is one of my most worn pieces me too, actually. I have worn that. I have one that I have worn a lot. And then I have the other Metro North. And I always thought I would like to make, well, after that incident with my niece, where I handed her that, and the Metro North scarf is a big triangle. So it works when you make it like, shawl size or no bigger. So you can wrap it around and it hangs down to like here. But sometimes I want a longer scarf, like a more blarfy scarf, but that pattern does not, it's not wearable if you make it super big. It gets to be too big. So I wanted something like the Metro North, but I wanted to be able to make it longer and not so wide. So I was actually working on that after I gave Camille that scarf. I came home and I was doing something else with the Metro North, and I worked on that for a while, and I was really struggling to get it to do what I wanted it to do. And so it went into a bucket, and it's still in that bucket. And that's been like 2 years. Yeah, cuz I think that was like not last Christmas, but the Christmas before was when I gave Camille that scarf. And then I was like, I should make some more metro knots. I should figure out how to make a metro knot, because the metro knots that I have are very wearable, but they're really big. I guess I just thought, well, I think what I did was, after I threw it in the bucket and then it was still in there with the yarn, and I just used up the rest of the yarn that was there with it, rather than unravel it, would have been the other choice. I just kept going and I didn't care what it was doing. I just made it longer. And they were funny too. They were funny. They were like, I could see I had the first part right. And then because it goes like this, the Metro North, it goes like this. And then it goes like that. And it makes a triangle. It's just like Find Your Fade, which is a knitted scarf. It has the same shaping. It has increases in the middle, and then it has decreases on one side, and then the decreases come together to a point, and it makes a triangle. And it's actually, so this is what I'm talking about. The way that I do my patterns, it is the perfect pattern for when an amount of yarn and you don't know what to do with it, or you have those two skeins that you bought at the wool festival that you don't know what to do with. You make this scarf, because it will, you can use any amount of yarn. And what you do is you do half of the yarn, and then when half of your yarn is gone, you start the decreases, and you use up the other half. You'll have enough yarn to do the other half and go all the way around with an edge. And it's the testers made dozens of them, and only one time did they not have enough yarn to go around the edge, and they were like just short by a little bit. So it's like a way to maximize your yarn. So like that's just a feature of my patterns, where I think about stuff like that. I don't just like I'll just make it this size or that size or whatever. So it has this, like feature, which is it maximizes your yarn. Maximizes the, not maximizes. It's like an efficient, what am I trying to say? I'm just over here bragging about my skills. Everybody left. Like, let's just leave her to talk to herself. Just square off the star, Betty. Shut up and square off the star. Amanda, did you wear your chaos scarf this winter? You'd love more chaos projects. Well, they're coming because I can't stop it. I can't shut it down. Um, I am thinking about. Oh, there goes my camera. Okay, how close am I to the edge? I'm almost to the end here. Yeah, that was fun. That chaos blanket was super fun. And it turned out, it looks better than I ever thought it would, especially with that Up Yours colorway. And then last night, I had the idea, I decided by the time I finished, it was too warm. Um, I have never worn mine either because it's way too warm and too big. So I'm going to actually remake it with using the smaller square, the smaller 6 day kid blanket. Granny square, which I haven't even given to you guys in the McKnitiverse yet. I'm going to make one. I'm going to make it up with that. And then I'm going to publish it with a 3-weight, like the one that you made, the big square in the 3-weight yarn. And the, oh, you gave it away. Wow. Um, the big square and 3-weight for 3-weight, and the smaller square for 4 and 5-weight yarn because the squares are just too big. Did you make the squares? You used 3-weight yarn. I forget what yarn you used, but it was like one of the Lion Brand mandalas or something like that. But you did the squares. You made the squares the full size, like um 12 rounds or something, right? Skinny cakes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's perfect. And then you did send me the measurement for it at some point. I think I put it in the pattern. But I used 4-weight yarn and mine just turned out way too big. And it's too warm to wear, so I'm thinking about taking it apart and making that into a sweater or something. And then redoing the scarf, the chaos scarf, um, with the smaller square, having options. It's a nice size. Or maybe I'll just leave it as the 3-weight and be done with it. was more her colors than mine. You're more of a purple. I like greens and blues and yellow. All right, my friends. I gotta go because my camera's dead and I'm hungry. Okay, so I only have the rest of this blue and then the orange up to here, up to row 4. And then it'll make sense when I do it on the live, but it'll be the orange up to here and then squaring off, first row of square off, and then finish the square off with this blue, this one. So there we have it. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everyone. It was really fun. And I will probably not be live tomorrow because I'm going up the road, but we'll see. Maybe I will maybe I'll do what I said and just get up there and get back and be quick about it and not fart around. It's the thing I like to do, is go up there and fart around. All right, my friends, have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.